Tribe, welcome back. It's me again. If you don't already know, Mr. Hall, author, founder, artist. Trying to remember all the titles as they're slightly irrelevant, right? Just for context. And besides that, I'm here to give you confirmation and possibly some space for perspective and perception in this human experience that we are all collectively having. Whole, excuse me again, spiritual birth. It's been happening frequently. So, as soon as I begin the video, I begin to channel. If you're unfamiliar with a spiritual birth, go ahead and do some research. If you're a part of the tribe already and understand and getting more acquainted with the way that everything interconnects and interconnectedness and oneness, right? Then you're on the right path or alignment, quote unquote, right. Okay. As we know, there's no wrong or right way to humans specifically, and everyone is included here. This is an omniism and animism based communication. Only requirement or guideline would be that we let the energy flow. Okay, flow. So things that I picked up before beginning the reading. Okay, a heavy energy of serenity, a heavy energy of fulfillment, despite any external chaos. I'm also picking up, if you hear these airplanes in the background, something that was attempting to intervene on your capacity to grasp, channel, understand, transmute, assimilate. Okay, these words may be significant for you as well. Yeah, something attempting to block your ability to remember using the Masters of Light Wisdom Oracle deck. Okay, some energy attempting to block or intervene in your capacity to remember. And we have Soul Star Ka. Okay, remember, your soul is vast. You are being activated and restored at deep levels. Honor your knowing. Okay. And if we look at where the reflection is on this lamination of the card, we can see that it's falling into place. Okay. So there may be something that you're seeing through. Okay. You may be having something reflected back at you, giving you keys to some information. Okay. I'm also picking up master numbers 23. Sorry. Okay. So going up a level. So master numbers 22, 20, 22, 33, 44, 11. Okay, you may want to look into the significance of those numbers. So something significant about you remembering your inner power, your willpower, your interconnectedness to to the soul of the universe, the soul of experience, the soul of existence. Okay, many layers being something going and being. Okay, something about balancing going and being in relation to the measurement of time. Okay, and this can be past life, as if we look at it from a ancestral context. Okay, this can be on a macro and micro scale. I'm picking up microbes, I'm picking up anatomical natures. Okay, I'm picking up sequences, and I'm picking up patterns. All right, so you be so Yubi, Obea, okay, something about some type of root work, spiritual work, binding spells, okay. You're being guided to forgive this energy, but and what I'm picking up with this forgiveness energy is Master Jesus the Christ, okay. Let go of judgments and mistakes, be kind and compassionate. It's time to heal, okay. So with this forgiveness, I'm picking up forgiving yourself for forgiving others, right? Having such an unconditional love for all can place you in a space of peace, okay, and truth. Peace and truth here, okay, as well as illumination. All right, but you're awakening, so your capacity to forgive and have unconditional love is awakening you to peace, truth, and illumination. Okay. Mm. But we're going to break these down more as well, because each aspect of the human consciousness focused on peace, where you put your attention, truth, what you're being able to see now in awakening, through this awakening of the remembrance, okay, remembering your capacity to forgive, and your capacity to be interconnected to all things, you're I'm being reminded that you're receiving messages very clearly about your abundance, all right? And remembering to forgive yourself for a separation from boundaries, okay? Because boundaries are also healthy and necessary in this individualistic uh, human experience as well. So having boundaries into what energy, information, what you allow to touch you, what you allow to be a part of the unconditional love that you share, because everything has its place. No goods, no bads, no righteous, no evils, right? That is a dualistic nature, and we separate from duality. And when we separate from duality in our higher consciousness, okay, not lower than or less than, not literally, not higher as let me digress because I feel that some of the tribe already completely understands what I'm saying. So let me break it down a bit more. Nothing higher or lower than as better or worse, but what is in alignment and balance for you with your inner truth, with your inner knowing, what you are meant to honor, okay, in this experience. And we have Palladian angel magnitude, truth. Divine truth is constant and eternal. Trust the harmonious feeling of your inner knowing, right? What is your inner knowing? What is true for you outside of society's contexts and definitions, outside of civilization's understanding of logic and truth and sense, right? You picking up on the way that is going to be best suited for you, right? The imagery coming to mind is an individual that resembled Tarzan and decided to live this way and connect with the earth, while other individuals may completely connect with technology. Finding the balance between both is my point in that perspective, okay? And you being able to recognize that living in the boxes, existing within boxes that were created by other human beings and also or other species that are now being more present due to this illumination, okay, and awakening collectively, globally, on a global scale. Either way, living in these boxes can be breaking down yourself, can be putting you in a lower vibration. And when I say lower vibration, heavier, denser energies, slowing down, decay, okay? And you're separating from this energy and these frequencies, okay, into peace and awakening, all right, with this balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, also seen through the downward pointing triangle and the upward pointing triangle, also trinities within themselves, okay, complete within themselves and blending together into the one, okay? So you being the one, the luminous one, the energy of awakening, okay? And Archangel Metatron. So something about working with archangels, or the perception of that archangel Metatron may have many names depending on what spiritual circle you're in, depending on what logics you're using, what axioms you're using. Either way, expect sudden inspiration, spiritual downloads, increased intuition, and expanded awareness. Okay, so I'm picking up altered states of consciousness that you're going through. Let me digress. You're going through altered states of consciousness based on your understanding now of this unconditional love that you have and the forgiveness that you give to yourself and others. But you're also being guided to remember something, right? Don't let go of what needs to be taken care of, essentially. And when I say needs to be taken care of, I'm referencing the practical day-to-day things. If someone has stolen your identity, yes, go ahead and assert and go ahead and get that fixed, right? Don't completely, you're being guided and reminded to not completely forget that you are an individual as well as connected to the whole, a reflection of reality experiencing itself, you showing reality how and you uh, what you will hmm, what you will dream, what you will oracle into existence, what you are creating and manifesting. Okay, oracle into existence. All right. Mm. So I'm picking up this rebirth energy as well, with remembering your limitlessness. Okay, being unlimited in nature. Something about okay, something about your. So you've reached this place of serenity by being able to receive these truths and not be reactive to them. Okay, so instead of being reactive, you've been processing and then responding based on the filters and perceptions, the filters of perception and perspective that you have, right? And you're gaining new perspective, okay, and gaining new key abilities, I would like to say, to you're gaining new key abilities in your perception, okay? As your perspective expands, you're gaining new tools to understand new methodologies to experience reality, okay? And this is bringing you in this place of peace, okay, giving you space in amidst chaos, okay, or any perceived chaos. All right, because chaos also does have its place, right? So this is big. So you may be getting, in short, okay, and I digress and like to keep it. So something about really tying the knot on something. So someone may be tying the knot. I'm picking up again binding magic, or binding spells, or something attempting to keep you attached, or in that perception of being attached to something. Okay. But what I'm channeling is that you're in connection with masters of light. Okay. You may be a master of light. You may identify with the terms like star seeds, light workers, shadow worker. Okay. You may fall into some category of those spiritual circles. Okay. Yeah. You may have experienced a time of not having grace for yourself. Okay. Not giving yourself grace, not giving grace to others. I'm picking up a real big transformation taking place and something very significant about, because my ear, so you listening to the receptivity portion of yourself, you listening to your divine feminine nature, you being receptive is the key to these truths. Okay. And you've opened yourself up to being more perceptive. Okay. Being able to alchemize. Okay. With grace, you giving yourself grace and peace during these times of illumination and truth, because sometimes I'm picking up the saying the truth can hurt, right? The truth can hurt. It can be very heavy, but you're balancing, right, with illumination. Okay. So truth is giving you balance. Okay. As we see on the left side, the receptive nature, the heart nature, the feeling nature, and then the masculine energy on the right side of the body, the energetic body, all right, giving and sharing information. And then we see once we get to illumination, the truth is with illumination, both aspects connect together into this universal heart. Okay, if you can see the imagery on the card. All right. Oh, right. And right now you're being guided to be actively focusing on the truth and truths, as there are many, many truths. Okay, understanding from the baseline of forgiveness and awakening, right, to the grander scheme of things in perspective in this human existence. Okay, but remember, you're an illuminated truth. You've become an illuminated truth. All right, and we'll leave these placements how they are. Okay. Interesting. So leaving the things, okay, leaving things as they are, and also being able to see beyond, okay, through. When I mention beyond, let's say past, present, future tense, okay, if we're looking at time linearly, but also beyond as in through, being able to see through. So breaking through illusions, using your luminous nature of light, forgiveness, peace, grace, okay, to shift open, okay, to break open um illusions, break through illusions casted on you, okay, projections casted on you, energy projected to you. All right. Hmm. Okay, so this is significant, and remember to pay close attention to the imagery on the cards. Okay. All right, we have forgiveness. I'm turning them over to the left. So something about looking over to your left. Again, this came up in one of the previous readings as well, but something to the left of you. Possibly you've left something behind, your feminine receptive energy. Okay. The letters in the word left, LEFT. So something about a leaf. There may be something about a specific leaf that you're being guided to work with, touch, okay, getting connection with as far as nature is concerned. Okay, also picking up leafy greens, okay? That may be significant. So if you have any type of pet, something about feeding them, something for the digestion, okay, and or you taking in more greens for your own digestion, okay? So a change in, okay, so a change in your diet is going to be beneficial if we look at this from a health perspective and the body physically, specifically. Okay. Giving your cells, your atoms, okay, your vibration and your frequency something lighter. Okay. That would be helpful for you. I'm being guided to let you know that. And this isn't simply for looks or for appeasement. Okay. This is for energy, you taking in light energy. I'm picking up Dr. Sebi on this one. You may want to look into that. Holistic healing. You may be stepping into holistic healing. Okay. Getting familiar with these holistic terms of healing. All right. But I'm going to get some clarification. Okay. Okay. And this one, we're going to use the Oracle deck, the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. Okay. Yes, many paths. As soon as I split the deck, okay, you understanding that there are many paths, okay, to existence. And I'm really loving the translucent nature and the ethereal nature of specific aspects on this card. It's giving imagery of the ocean, right? And the desert and the universe, okay? The night sky, as well as light being emitted from the hands, okay? I'm seeing hands at the tips of the triangles. So I'm picking up Reiki energy. I'm picking up healing touch as well. So something about what you allow to touch you and what you touch, okay? Through your words, through your actions, through your existence, through your appreciation and self love, okay, through remembrance of this energy. Okay. All right. And the number 34 may be significant. Okay. So, all right. So getting divine stability in many paths. Okay. Okay. So centering yourself in many paths of understanding. Okay. Solidifying the foundation of your understanding in many paths. Okay. So you being a focal point, a center. The imagery that I have is of a pearl, okay, a ball, a circular, a sphere. Okay. That may be significant for someone. Even this symbolism in my hand may be significant. All right. So you being the light in the center. Okay. Similar to this sunset that I reference in the background. Okay. But here, similar to this sunset. Camera. All right. Well, you get the point. So shifting focus as well as, okay, significance in the way that the camera just shifted focus between the sunset that I'm representing here and then also it's focusing on the face. So you realizing that in the center, okay, you are this focal point and my fingers would represent the imagery of being able to go in many paths in many directions, but and you holding frequency, solidity, okay, being of light in the center, grounded, a complete structure, a complete restructuring to the foundations that you've had before. And this is allowing you to gain space in many paths of awakening and forgiveness and getting depth in both of those capacities. Okay, so working with Jesus Christ, working with Archangel Metatron may be significant to you and or for you. Okay, and whatever energy you would associate with Jesus Christ in your experience of spiritual understanding, any illuminated master or ascended master, Buddha, um, Gandhi, individuals that have mastered one aspect of the human experience fully would be a good guide for you. Even if these are a darker nature, a lighter nature, wherever you find yourself on that spectrum. But for your physical vessel, you're being guided to incorporate some form of greens. Okay, that is significant. All right. And three and four, four, five, six, seven. Okay. Yeah. So you really being divinely guided into restructuring the foundation of your spiritual understanding because there are many paths and many truths. Many within the tribe already are aware of this. If I have lost you already in any capacity, go ahead and review some of the older videos that I've posted. Go ahead and do some research. Go ahead and click the link above in the bio to book a session with me. All right. Okay. So something about the islands reconnecting to your roots ancestrally. All right, so you're being guided to be fierce like the coyote, okay? Number 12, 21. Those numbers may be significant. Really, this grounding energy of being grounded in truths, being grounded in the truths that associate with your being, okay? Because you are remembering the truth, okay? You are not letting go of the truth. So it's this balance between letting go and forgiveness, and then also honing in on what rings true for you, okay? Yeah, heavy energy on this because currently you're in this space of serenity, being able to understand forgiveness, okay? Having an awakening and understanding forgiveness. You're in this space of having many paths and understanding the interdimensional connections of yourself through illumination, okay? And abundance. All right? Getting out of a lack mindset, getting into a abundant mindset and that you literally are the creator and manifest in being and existence. Okay, and even if in okay, if you've had a near death experience or if you've experienced death in return, some don't like to speak about this because these topics are very nuanced, right? So picking up on nuanced energies and you being honest and truthful with yourself in perspective to society, to reality, not just society. Okay, the world is a very big and vast place, yet to still be discovered as new truths and facts are being found every day. So the ancient one and the earth keeper in reverse, right? So you've become a okay. So you at one point were being convinced you are not an ancient one, that you did not associate with sacred divinity, that you possibly did not associate with limitless possibilities, capabilities through any direction. Okay. And this is being flipped. All right. And also with the earth keeper reversed. Okay. So you're getting some forms of medicine from the ancient ones and the earth keepers. Okay. Essentially understanding that you're an interdimensional keeper, right? Starseed, Lightworker, these themes keep coming up today. So you being an earth keeper and an ancient one, okay? You being able to shift between these perspectives and conscious awarenesses to help you and guide you, okay? To be in this grounding energy. Okay. The numbers 18 and 1, 181 may be very significant. That can be a confirmation for someone. Someone may be born in January, have earth sign placement. Okay. Capricorn and or I'm picking up Aquarius. Okay. So something shifting. So you aligning to the right temperature. Okay. The right measurement. So you possibly measuring something very significant. So 8 and 1 is breaking down into a 9. So something about completion. Okay. So the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega, this energy of the alpha and the omega coming up. All right. So it's the beginning of peace. All right. With the number 1, it's the beginning of peace for you. Okay. Ancient one, right? Really rebirthing and regrounding. Okay. And this sphere, these spheres that I'm seeing, and part of a Venn diagram. So you being a bigger part of the whole, okay, and also Trinity, okay. Something about planetary placements as well. Also picking up alignment, alignment through peace with the ancient ones. Okay, your soul has been measured, weighed, okay, essentially. And for the earth keeper, grace. Okay, grace for this human school, grace for yourself in this experience. Okay, so what I'm picking up is, let's say, divine masculine, divine feminine energy, right? Divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy. Place it where it fits for you, but look upon the images on these cards. Confirmation as well. Look upon the images on these cards. Okay, they are multifaceted, multidimensional depth. Okay, and as we expand our consciousness collectively and individually, we're finding more ways to connect, interconnect. Okay, that have previously either been withheld from us, okay, withheld from you. So I'm being heavily guided to mention something on something being something on something, something on something. Okay, you're on to something as far as breaking a curse, a generational curse, a cycle, okay, a limiting belief, a pattern that has been detrimental to your experience as a human, okay? You've integrated some form of illumination and abundance. All right? Hi, sacred heart as well with nature. Okay, you've integrated your truest natures, okay? And you've reached the sacred heart, okay? And this one is Ascended Master Sanada. Sanada or Sanda. Okay, either way. You are the vessel for the powers of divine love, devotion, compassion, and forgiveness. Okay. So I'm picking up heavily in this reading that it's really shifted. The few readings below have been much more about unlocking matrix, okay? Unlocking keys to understanding how many different species exist, the different types of cults, gangs, mafias, um, that are incorporated through corruption with specific governments and corporations globally. Okay. But right now, the energy is shifted into this peace and serenity and grace through all of that chaos. Okay. After this recent awakening, you may be on your first awakening, you may be on your 100th awakening. But either way, we're really shifting into this space now of serenity and peace to hold hope, light, and courage and inspiration for the collective. Okay. So sending inspiration, sending positivity. Okay. If you haven't been working with any of your psychic gifts or telepathic gifts or extrasensory gifts, if these things seem woo for you, I would suggest you go ahead and do some research, as these pseudosciences, these theoretical sciences, are now really blending together with empirical data and empirical science. Okay, go ahead and check that out. And something very significant about science. Okay, so the science of understanding, the science of logic, the science of perspective, the science of sense, stepping into the science of sense. Okay, these may be something, these may be terms that are populated soon, because society, the world, civilization is dreaming anew. Okay, you are the dreamer's dream. All right, with the Palladian angel of dreams. Yes. So you may relate to different terminologies as far as, or understandings of Palladians, okay? Understanding of cryptids, understanding of which alien are you going to be today, okay? I'm also picking up alien DNA as well. So that may be significant, something coming up about that. Okay, so, oh, wow. The Ascended Masters have so much to say today. All right. All right. So like I mentioned with this previously, with this near death experience, or experiencing death and returning and being resurrected, okay, Archangel Azrael, death endings and completions are at hand. Take time to let go, to grieve, and to heal. Right, so we're stepping through the phases of grieving processes, okay, and stepping through the phases of healing, and stepping through the phases of letting go, and knowing what to let go and what to remember for truth, okay, and the multiple truths. All right, and this is in bringing enlightenment. Okay, Lord Gautama, the Buddha, enlightenment. Okay, thoughts and words can create and destroy. Plant seeds of loving kindness to create peace. Okay, so take these kind words and use them. All right, apply them, and may they reach your subconscious in healthy ways. All right. Yeah, so it's a death to the old and a renewal in certain aspects, okay? Depending on where you find yourself in the Dharma scale and karma scale of existence right now, these endings may be catastrophic, but and or necessary for growth, right? Separating from, all right? Death not being completely a negative aspect, okay, but a rebirth, okay, a renewal. All right, I'm getting, okay. So possibly keeping enlightenment close to your chest as well, okay? And in that reference, that euphemism, that analogy, that metaphor, okay? Something being kept close to your chest, all right? So you may have gotten some new divine guidance and some new alignment, and possibly being guided not to specifically blurt it out to the masses just yet. The information will come in increments, okay, as a measurement of balance, because not everyone will be able to handle the same amount of information at the same time. Okay, let's just say that if you're seeing this video, this is a confirmation that you're in the gifted class, no better or less than, but you are being guided to share this positivity, to share alignment. And even if you don't feel in alignment at times, everything is divinely orchestrated, right? No coincidences, right? Give patience to yourself. Okay, so something that I'm picking up for you to give yourself is patience and forgiveness as you awaken to these many paths. Okay, and remember these truths that may have been viciously hidden from you, okay, by nefarious energies and or the shadow aspects of yourself. I'm picking up a full integration of your dark and light aspects has brought you peace. Okay, you being able to balance between both of these natures. Okay, all right, you are the ancient one of peace. Okay, and peace can be very violent. It would appear to be opposite, right? But peace can be a violent experience. All right, depending on how you work with it. Okay, you're being guided to listen. To listen, remember the truth. Okay, all right. Listen to, and this is the imagery that I'm picking up. So, in a film, Moana, okay, so this may have been a first experience for some. So, something about the first time that you're experiencing your dark nature or the dark sides of society, reality, consciousness at new depths than ever before. Okay, yeah, there are bad people, people get hurt, feelings get hurt, things happen, but human trafficking, organ trafficking, sex trafficking, okay, literal cannibalism, okay, death rituals, okay, sacrifice rituals, okay, These things can become even darker. Okay, soul swapping, destiny swapping. Okay, I'm picking up dark and heavy voodoo, hoodoo. All right, remembering the truths of the aspects of nature. Okay, the violent aspects. Okay, yeah, let go. All right, being guided again to let go. So let go. Mm. So on one aspect, I'm picking up collectively where there may be, okay, when, okay, so I will share this. So specific groups and organizations having global plans, okay, to have individuals feeling that the easier thing to do in reality is to give up, let go, release themselves, allow themselves to be taken over. Okay, that's one aspect. On another aspect and perspective, I'm also picking up, right, with this listen. Definitely be receptive. I'm being guided to remind you, you may have ringing in the ear. Okay, go ahead and look up the spiritual meaning of ringing in the ear and apply how it fits to you. Okay, but you're getting higher frequency messages. Okay, all right. I want to show you this let go card. All right, so I'm also picking up some type of abduction energy. Okay, you may relate to the terms of being abducted by aliens. That may be significant or ring true for you, and you're being guided to have gratitude. Okay, have gratitude in this journey. All right, and being able to let go. So being able, one, a perversion to the concept of letting go. Okay, spiritual release again. Excuse me. Okay. Something about working with crystals as well. You may have a significant necklace that you're meant to find or a connection that you're meant to find. Okay. Remembering a soul connection that's awakening these many paths. Okay. Listen. All right. Right. So cutting through illusions. So letting go of illusions, one perspective with this let go card, and be thankful that you're able to recognize the illusions, even if it may not have felt pretty. Let's put it that way. Right. And as you have gratitude for letting go, okay, going through that death of what you thought was true and understanding there are many truths, okay, you've now found grace as the earth keeper. You've been granted to become an earth keeper. All right. So one layer of letting go is the perception that, oh, everything's ending, the world's ending, might as well let go and let's just throw everything away, which may work for some individuals, depending on where you are on your path, right? The other aspect is letting go of falsities, illusions, and fallacies. Okay. And then another layer is letting go and allowing yourself to be in gratitude and in flow with the balance of both aspects of those previously mentioned contexts of letting go. Okay. Hope that didn't go over you. Okay, so something going over the head. Okay, so the perception that you're missing something is being released. Okay, the perception that you're missing something is being released. Okay, the perception that you are very alone, you're not alone. Literally, you're higher. Okay, and using the higher self oracle deck. Okay, for reference. So your higher self is letting you know that you're not alone in this journey. You're not alone by any means at all. And this may be where you are in a hermit mode, okay, due to these awakenings and remember truths, which we're seeing globally, especially within the Western world. And this is happening, like I said, on a global scale, that we're not very alone, okay? Trust. All right, with the heart of your heart being as light as a feather. So even if something feels heavy and dense, there are ways to transmute that energy. Okay, all of these stones in one feather. So something significant about feathers as well, you may be finding feathers, you may be seeing feathers, and this can be within spiritual circles confirmation that angels or ascended masters or any extraterrestrial and interdimensional non-human intelligences are connecting with you, okay, and giving you angelic reminders of these things. Okay, depending on where you find it, angels, daemons. Okay, the perspective is balance, but trust in your balance, trust in your flow. Even if you're a rock, be light as a feather. Sting, fly like a bee, sting like a, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Okay, the perspectives that I'm picking up. That may be a strong reference for someone. Okay, something about Tyson chicken, something about Mike Tyson. Okay, yeah, forgiveness reverse, the light. So not forgiving your light, okay? You being the light and standing in your authentic truth, okay? Knowing and understanding the many paths of forgiveness, right? Letting go of judgments and mistakes that you have been projected or perceived within the self collectively as well. Okay, be kind and compassionate. It's time to heal. Heal patience. Okay, no rushing through this. All right, okay, letting go of the perception around gratitude. You are an ancient one. Okay, being able to accept grace, being able to accept trust. Okay, ooh, this reading's been interesting. All right, let's see. We'll go ahead and get some psychic tarot to give more context. Yeah. All right. Something. Okay. So some individuals that may have been projecting negativity towards you or attempting to, okay, keep you away from prosperity because again, prosperity begins. All right. A lot of ones in these cards as well. So definitely new beginnings. Right. Ancient ones. This is a message for the tribe specifically. Ancient ones. Prosperity begins for us. Number 11. Okay. 1111. Listen. Okay, this is beautiful. So prosperity begins. So we'll keep that there with this group. All right. I'm also picking up four. Okay, four quadrants. Okay, a square being broken down into four equal parts. That may be significant for someone. If you've seen that imagery, that's a confirmation. And remember, when you are watching these videos, I want you to leave this video and go ahead and see where you find the similar information on your algorithm. That's going to be another piece of the story if you're looking or searching or attempting to add more guidance. Okay, for those of you that mentioned taking notes in the comments as well. But everything is interconnecting, and we are getting closer and better at understanding how we interconnect to each other through all of the different aspects and versions of ourselves from a grander and broader perspective, and also how even separately things interconnect. Us breathing the same air, us being on the same planet, possibly in different dimensions, right? Simultaneously at once. Okay, picking up quantum physics again, but and okay, huh? Yeah, standing your ground. Okay, I'm going to place this here. Standing your ground with this coyote energy. Okay, being able to listen and with truth. All right, and we're going to go back and reference through to see how the messages have changed a bit. Okay, conflict and defeat reverse. Okay, you defeated some form of deception and envy, even around being deceptive and envious of yourself, right? Right? Oh, that's too good for me. That's too much for me. I can't. Or imposter syndrome. I'm picking up terminologies around imposter syndrome. You seeing your greatness and you motherfucking accepting it. It's beautiful. Let's see. Okay. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Hmm. Okay. So something you may have feel unrooted, okay, ungrounded, because of this projection of deception and energy. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck out of here. All right, and then we have passion ignited. Okay, again with the ones, one, one, one. So you're saying fuck that shit to anything that is not igniting your passions, and it's kind of causing an uproar. Let's say, but hey, you have things to focus on. Paths to heal, okay, and again many paths. So your path may not be spirituality, your path may be within the government, your path may be within medicine, your path may be within art, your path may be all of those combined, right? Creating new paths of many paths. Okay, okay, content creation, um presence online, presence in this existence. Okay, how is your presence in this existence bringing prosperity for yourself, generations? Okay, as a species. Okay, this is what I pick up. Mm, yeah, you've stepped out of this discontent and boredom energy. Okay, yeah, you're moving on. Yeah, moving on. Okay, and heart chakra reverse. All right, so we'll check out those medicines as well. So something very significant about medicine as well. I'm picking up Buckley's that may be significant. You may want to look into Buckley's depending on where you are in the world. There are different potions. Okay, so working with potions, working with earth medicine, working with herbalistic medicine. So you may you may relate to being some type of hedge witch. You may relate to some African symbolism as well. This is coming to mind. Ooh. All right, a lot is coming in. All right, that was a channeled message for someone. Yeah, and 44, both Okay, this is similar to a previous message. Okay, but something about H as well. So H may be significant too. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm being guided to put these upright. Okay, so you've separated from discontentment and boredom, all right, with patience, okay, allowing yourself to have this forgiveness energy and awakening, okay, and many paths, okay. You're awakening to the many paths through forgiveness, okay, awakening to the many paths through forgiveness, patience, and separating yourself from being discontent and boredom. You found some new passion, okay, and we'll call this pile one, all right. I want you all to comment below if you resonate with pile one. Okay, that'll be confirmation, and you'll be able to find others that are resonating and on that frequency. All right, and for frequency, so frequency one, okay, frequency two. All right, you're standing your ground, embracing your coyote spirit, and listening to truths and remembering truth by listening to nature. Okay, the signs that you're receiving. All right, and you're stepping into this coyote nature, your masculine energy, and standing your ground, okay, spiritually, because you've been spiritually granted the authority to be in divinity, okay, to really begin something that's in alignment for you by listening to your truths offered by the Palladians, all right, and also Soul Star Ka, remembering your true Ka Ra nature. So that may be in relation to ancient Egyptian energies as well. So that's frequency two, frequency one, two, and frequency three. You're moving on. Okay, you're moving on, all right, entering prosperity, okay, as an ancient one, all right, and you're stepping into gratitude, sharing and reminding externally to others gratitude and what it feels like to let go and be at peace, okay. That's frequency three. All right, the numbers 6 and 1 are significant for you. 11, 11, 6, 6, 6, a balance between flesh and the spiritual, okay. In certain circles, that can also be seen as demonic. So you moving on may seem demonic to external energies that were attempting to project deception and envy onto you. All right. So that's frequency three. Okay. Frequency four. All right. So frequency four is definitely within the light. You can't specifically see it here. Let me give you, okay. Yeah, you see how this pile is in the light? So this may be a confirmation for some of you reaching for the light or being the light definitively. Okay. Something about those noises as well. So 1, 2, pop, pop, boom, cat. Okay, something about dance as well. Okay, I'm picking up jazz funk. So something about music, something about frequency. Okay, frequency four, you've stabilized into your heart chakra. Okay, you've stabilized into your heart chakra by trusting and being an earth keeper with grace. Okay, you have transmuted some energy as well, and something about these eyes as well. Okay, if you see similarly to on my page, at the header of my YouTube page, if you are not on YouTube, check out the YouTube. Either way, frequency four, you've entered stability. Okay, frequency one, you are beginning to recognize and recognize awakening to all of these paths. Frequency two, you're being guided to stand your ground for your alignment. You remember truth. Okay, frequency three, you are being divinely guided. Okay, you have divine support. All right, angel number 333 may be significant. 111 666. Okay, but you have divine alignment for gratitude. Okay, and frequency path four, you are entering stability. Okay, with trust and being an earth keeper. Interesting. Okay, even down to having four cards specifically. All right, so you've really stabilized yourself in multiple dimensions of existence and experience. Okay, all right, tribe. This one is going to be a longer reading. I'm proud of this though. Something you're proud of. You're moving forward in yourself, in your authenticity, in your non-dualistic nature. It's beautiful. So depending on where you are within the frequency of understanding human existence through perception, perspective, logic, linear, limited and linear, or and rationale, okay, and also sense, inclusive, encompassing, okay, and balancing these two energies. All right, tribe. Okay. This will be something about you connecting with everyone. Okay. Also, something about making a note, writing something down that may be significant. Okay. Okay, you're getting a yes answer as well. If you had any concerns around that, okay, number 44. So again, 444, very significant, an angel number for you. Okay, if you're unfamiliar with angel numbers, go ahead and look them up, as well as hmm, some natural oils that you're going to be working with too. Okay, that's significant, and that may ring true for someone. Everything and everyone. Okay. All right, tribe. All right, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I love to see us growing. I love to see us connecting. All right, as this is a part of my life path, one of the many, okay, to express and be here with you all. Something about a flute, something about typing on a keyboard, okay, and the number 44 again, something very significant about 44 here. Let me go ahead and look that up for us really quickly, and I'll read. Okay, 1111 as well. Okay, and one, so 11 and 44. Here. Hmm. Okay. All right. Look out for any messages from government agencies. Okay. Okay. So something about diplomatic codes. Okay. All right, tribe. You can also look online for the standard definition of angel numbers, but whew, look out for the number 44. That's going to be holding very high significance. Okay. But I'll leave it at that. Okay, as I'm guided not to share too deeply into that right now in this moment. Either way, again, remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. So appreciative that you're here. So glad that this message is reaching so many individuals that may need it, that may want it, that have subconsciously brought this forth for themselves. Okay. Click the link above in the bio to check out all of my other platforms. Okay. And dimensions of myself, products and services. And also check out the shorts. Okay. Giving some in depth knowledge through the confirmations in the shorts. All right. And check out any of the other videos below. It all helps with growing within the algorithm and connecting us to each other. Okay. All right, tribe. Mm. For the next message, I'm still getting more, but all right. See you later, tribe. Okay. Abracadabra, Anak Amun, as above, so below. So it is, so mote it be. Okay. See you later, tribe.